He spent the prime of his life in prison for a murder he says he didn't commit. Tonight, David Ranta will sleep at home for the first time in 23 years. He was freed today. His handcuffs removed after a judge and prosecutors agreed the evidence didn't show that he murdered a prominent local rabbi in 1990. Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan in downtown Brooklyn. Jim?
I'm not sure I've ever seen a judge cry before, but today Judge Miriam Serenik cried tears of joy as she sent David Ranta home for the first time since the elder George Bush was president. Ranta spent 22 and a half years in prison for a murder both he and a lie detector test say he didn't commit.
Mr. Ranta, how does it feel to be free?
David Ranta walked out of court today a bit taken aback by the flood of attention to his newly won freedom. But in a few moments, he stepped into an SUV and on to the rest of his life.
Mr. Ranta, to say that I'm sorry for what you have endured would be an understatement and grossly inadequate, but I say it to you anyway.
An understatement. David Ranta spent nearly 23 years in prison for the murder of Rabbi Haskell Wurzburger. Last year, prosecutors began to take a fresh look at the case at the request of Ranta's lawyer.
The evidence that was before the jury at every level eroded, so there was no case left. So for me, it was very, very simple. David Ranta should not have spent one more day in jail.
And so today,
sir, you are free to go.
With a hug for his lawyer, they took the handcuffs off David Ranta. Soon he was hugging family and friends. Soon he was walking out of the courtroom.
Thank you all. Thank you.
With all he owned thrown over his back in a sack. And soon he was trying to explain how it all felt.
Right now I feel like I'm underwater swimming, so I can't really just be honest with an answer because this is overwhelming.
Do you have any one thing you want to do?
Yeah. Get the hell out of here, maybe.
One friend of Rabbi Wurzburger asked Ranta directly as he was leaving the courthouse.
Were you an accomplice? His answer was...
As I said from the beginning, I had nothing to do with this case.
So who did kill Rabbi Wurzburger? Well, the leading suspect in this case now is a man who died in a car crash some years ago. So justice, in this case at least, is difficult to come by. In downtown Brooklyn, Jim Dolan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
What a story, Jim.